Okay.
We got Brady in San Francisco.
Yes.
How you
Hi.
doing?
Hey, I called in last week, but neither of you were there.
All right, I'm hanging up on you then.
Oh, shoot.
I'm kidding.
Hey, I don't know if you've heard about this, but earlier this month, the city council in Washington, D.C. passed a bill allowing same-sex marriage in the city.
Yes. Yep.
Which is good. Yay.
Yeah.
And the Archbishop of Washington, D.C., well, not of, but he's in Washington, D.C., did a very weird thing, and I want you guys' take on this.
He got married.
Oh, you've already heard this?
Oh, no, I hadn't. Did I guess right?
What?
Did I guess right?
I don't know. I forgot the guy's name. But while it was still being debated in city council, he had said that if the bill passed, if they passed this, he and his church would revoke their support of the poor and needy in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I had heard about that.
And now the bill's passed, and I was wondering what you think he's going to do. I mean...
Well, I don't know, but there you have Catholic values on display again.
Yeah, is that what Jesus would do?
It's like, okay, if they're giving this aid to the poor and the needy because they think that's the right thing to do, why is that in any way connected with who gets married?
I know, exactly.
It's either right or because they believe that that's right, or they've turned this into political leverage to try to influence legislation.
And their true colors are showing.
Yeah.
Hey, we'd like to keep helping people out, but not unless you agree with us on this particular issue. Okay. I think it's abominable, and I don't know why there aren't more people outraged about it, particularly Catholics, particularly individuals from those churches saying, you know what, we're still going to give money to help our fellow citizens out. It's kind of like saying, well, I was going to feed my baby, but my next door neighbor decided to mow his lawn, and I asked him not to. So now I'm not going to feed my baby until he stops mowing his lawn. Yeah. I mean, it's that insane.
That's an even eviler example than the one I was using, which is like, oh, hey, if you don't do what I want, I'm going to shoot the puppy. But all right, well, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks, Brady.
Sure.
Can I hang up now?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask permission from now on for the rest of the day. It kills me because there was more to talk to about Leanne, and I blew it.
That's okay.
But, well, anyway. Andrew in Florida.
Hello.
How are you?
How you guys doing? I'm good. How are you?
Irritated.
Yeah, I saw that. I can see why.
Mostly
it sounded like Eve that you had a little while ago, but
it sounds like what?
Sounded like Eve that you.
Oh, you shouldn't have said that. You do know who Eve is, don't you?
Oh yes, I do.
Okay.
Anyways, I just want to thank you guys. It's a good show to actually help me convert or deconvert, I guess.
No, I have to ask you something.
Okay.
Now that you've deconverted, have we ruined your life or destroyed your will to live or anything like that?
Oh, I'm cutting my wrist right now.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
I can't handle it. No. No, I've actually seen improvement in my life.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
So, yeah,
Great.
it's good.
No, we get a lot of email from concerned trolls who say, hey, don't you think you're taking people's will to live by stealing their faith?
Not at all. I've become much happier.
Okay.
Well, great.
Good.
Go ahead. Ask your question.
Anyways, one of my questions is my mom and stepdad actually are hardcore Greek Orthodox Christians, and they preach to me all the time. I have to sit there and listen to it. I haven't told them yet. Of course, I've heard you have a few calls about this, but what do you think I should do about that? That's just one of my questions. I have a couple more, though. How should I...
About telling them that you're an atheist?
How should I approach them, or do you think I even should, or just let it be for a little while?
How old are you?
18.
Are you going to be financially dependent on them for a while?
I actually live with my dad, but they live 30 minutes away and visit them quite a bit. But
I don't know your parents, so I can't even begin to guess at what their reaction is. And considering that I wasn't Greek Orthodox, I don't even have a good reference point. What I can say, it's a cop-out to say that you're the only one who can decide. But what I can say is that you'll know that it's the right thing to do when you come to a point where you're more comfortable with it, where you would prefer to be honest with them about who you are than to hide it. And if you have good reason to think that their reaction would be so negative that it would be damaging to your health or welfare, obviously you don't ever have to say a word. Praise Jesus and lie your ass off if you think that your life is in danger. I don't think that's the case. I mean, although I have had some emails about extreme responses, but there are a number of ways that I've suggested people try doing it. One of them that I've become a little more fond of is just not to stop pretending. First of all, don't come out and say, "Mom, Dad, I need to let you know I'm an atheist." Instead, don't participate with church stuff. Don't play along and pretend. Just begin to treat it like it's a non-issue. And this, when and if it promotes the discussion or prompts the discussion about what you believe, that's when you can say, "Well, I just don't believe that. I don't believe that." And then you can have a discussion that doesn't begin with, "Dun, dun, dun, I'm an atheist." Instead, you can have a discussion that begins with, "Hey, we thought you were just like us, and now we're finding out you're a little different, and we can work through this and figure out where we stand." And you may find out that the end result's the same, that there's still this tension. But I think it's probably a better approach than what I did, for example. But.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm expecting quite a response because I've even talked to them about just looking at other points of view and it's going to hurt your soul, and my goodness, I really couldn't get them to understand that if your beliefs are true, then you shouldn't really have a problem with looking outside the box. But
Yeah, actually, the method that Matt described is pretty much how my family came to understand that I'm an atheist, although they don't use that word. But it was a little easier for me because I hadn't lived at home for a long time, and so I wasn't financially dependent on them and hadn't been for a long time. But looking back on it, since they've come to understand that I'm an atheist, we've had like one major blow up, and that was one family member broke the rule, which was, we have this sort of don't ask, don't tell rule in my family with regard to religion, specifically my lack of religion. So one family member broke the rule. We had a nasty little discussion about that, and then we left it alone after that. So that's kind of the rule in the family. It's kind of kept the peace. And looking back, we had lots more contentious arguments when I was a teenager, and I was refusing to go to whatever church they wanted to attend at one time, and that was actually a denominational thing, because at the time I identified as Episcopalian, and they were trying out different churches, sort of this, cafeteria-style Christianity that lots of people, go through at some point. So, what Matt described is, just kind of slowly start withdrawing from religious participation might actually be the path of least resistance for you.
One note of encouragement or optimism is you should probably understand from the beginning that once everybody's cards are on the table, things will never be normal again, but they will proceed towards a new normal. Mm-hmm. Because unless your parents are some sort of sick, evil monsters, they love you, just like almost every other parent loves their kids. And they're going to have to find a way to reconcile their distaste for what your beliefs are with their love for you. And and my parents and I have a pretty good relationship. Things have achieved a new normal, and part of it is we're not going to discuss this because they're ill-equipped. But I think it's a good thing in the sense that it puts them in the position of having to rectify their assumptions and preconceptions about what an atheist is with, this is the child that we love, who's not really that much different from us and not much different from what we thought he was.